captain for them is Cameron Brannigan, the 29-year-old former Liverpool midfielder, very experienced player. We've watched him on quite a few occasions over the last few years since Sunderland dropped into the Championship League One and back up into the Championship, and the noise you can hear, the support you can hear is from the Sunderland fans on the far side. So Oxford's players now in a huddle. As I say, we look down from the main stand here, and Sunderland defending the open end, the car park end of this stadium, and they will be playing from left to right, and Robin Ruff's his usual routine to run behind the goal, grab a ball off one of the cones and throw it onto the pitch and just get a feel of the ball, whilst up in the centre circle Diarra is standing with his back to the Oxford half, ready to get this FA Cup fourth round tie underway. And Tom Kirk, the referee, has just blown, and indeed we are underway with the ball played back to Robin Ruffs, who's in green this afternoon, up to the right side of the Oxford penalty area where the whistle's blown, foul by Trey Hume, and a free kick to Oxford United.
Another ball on the pitch.
And 2 balls on the pitch. Robin Ruffs has to come across and to this near tide touchline and tap the ball off, which he does. Goalkeeper Matt Ingram, 32 years old now, signed from Luton a year ago, in black, will take this free kick just outside the penalty area, and was a lot of holding and pulling going. Luke O'Nien was
again, you've got to be careful.
Not been penalised for it, but pulling down.
I've just seen that straight away. There's a lot of tussling, fighting. 2 Sunderland defenders on Lancashire, the 20-year-old on loan from Tottenham. They did seem to pull him down, but Tom Kirk has let that go. Lefay on the left, inside to Hertrauder on the halfway line. The ball is out for a throw to Sunderland on the left. Lefay goes to recover it from behind an advertising board, and he's going to leave this for Dennis Sirkin to take. Just 10-15 yards short of the halfway line. Back to Luke O'Nien, floats the ball down the left of the Oxford penalty area. Out comes Ingram and just plays it out into touch, taking no chances. Ruffs in goal for Sunderland. Back 4, Hume, Mukiele, O'Nien and Sirkin. Midfield of Talby, Diarra, Hertrauder and Mundle, Lefay and Isidore up front. And the ball is back with Luke O'Nien just inside the Sunderland half, on the left-hand side on this dull, cloudy day. The rain has thankfully passed on, and now Luke O'Nien is fouled just inside the Oxford half, and it's a free kick, a foul by Jamie Donnelly. There, Trey Hume's gone across to take it.
Yeah, he has jogged across to take it.
He takes all the free kicks now and the throw-ins.
Oxford team, Matt Ingram in goal, Brodie Spencer, Chris Makosso, who's on loan from Luton. The ball's floated down the left of the penalty area. Mundle tried to play it back into the path of Sirkin, but Oxford get the ball away. Drops for Hume, who's still left side, just inside the Oxford half, and Lefay is tackled. The ball is tapped out for another throw to Sunderland. Kieran Brown and Jack Curry's the back 4. Midfielders Stan Mills, Cameron Brannigan, Will Vauxhall and John Ginu. Jamie Donnelly playing just behind Will Lancashire for Oxford in these yellow shirts with dark blue sleeves and dark blue shorts. Luke O'Nien just at the back of the centre circle, rolls it to Trey Hume, who's over on the left wing. Talby's on this right wing. Sirkin's ahead of Hume. Mundle's further forwards on the left. Back to Mukiele, and here to Mukiele from Ruffs, and he drills a ball down the right wing for Talby to sprint after, but it's headed away from the left corner of the Oxford penalty area, and they're trying to play it up to the halfway line now, but it's tapped away by Hertrauder, straight to Brannigan, inside to Vaux, out to the left, Brown, and the big centre-back plays it across the pitch to the far side to Brodie Spencer, who tried to launch a longer ball up for Stan Mills, but Sunderland have the ball back with Dennis Sirkin on the left wing, inside to O'Nien. Hume has come back across onto this right-hand side. Here he is on halfway, just a couple of yards in from the touchline, taps it back to Mukiele, looks for Hertrauder in the centre circle. On his shoulder is Will Lancashire, and then to Luke O'Nien to Sirkin on halfway on the left hand side. He taps it back to O'Nien, swings a diagonal ball out to the right wing, looking for the run of Trey Hume, who can't keep it in, and it's a throw to Oxford a couple of yards from the corner on the left. Jack Curry drafted in at left back by Matt Bloomfield, a 42-year-old former Ipswich and Wycombe midfielder who was appointed on January the 9th, and at the moment he's watching his side having to defend. Mundle into the goal line, onto the goal line in the penalty area, but there he goes down. The ball's gone behind, off Mundle for a goal kick to Oxford United.
Yeah, Lefebvre got the ball there. He's trying to find Mundle. He just pushed him a little bit too wide for his liking.
So the goalkeeper, Ingram, is going to take the goal kick and has ushered everybody upfield. Ball floats through the middle onto the chest of Lancashire, who's trying to get it down here now to Jin-Woo, the South Korean, gets a cross in, but Mukele heads it out. Diarra tries to flick it with his back of his head. It drops down to Brannigan, and he plays it back onto the halfway line to Makosso, the Democratic Republic of Congo centre half, on loan from Luton. Now Sirkin having to try and get on the ball for Hume, but Vaux gets the ball off him. Will Vaux takes it just back into his own half, right side of the centre circle. 0-0. We're in the 6th minute of this cup tie here at the Kassam Stadium, live on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. And down the left wing now, Curry has pushed forwards. Jinu wins it in the penalty area from Talby. He's at the left of the 6-yard box. He plays it back to Curry. Talby's just in front of him. Curry leaves it for Brannigan, and Brannigan slips it into the D, looking to try and get Donnelly through, but now tied up by Mukele, looking for the break of Mundle, and tried to get round Spencer and Makosso, but between them the two defenders get the ball back to Ingram, just at the edge of his penalty area in the middle, and he kicks long again, looking for Lancashire, who scored in the third round against MK Dons, a 1-1 draw which went to penalties, and Oxford won 4-3. And the ball comes all the way back to Makosso. Isidore in front of him, he lays it off to Spencer back to Vaux, who's dropped back into the defence, and Vaux just rolls it to his right to Makosso, 21 years old, 6'4", back to Vaux in the middle. Isidore goes to close him down, and it's swung out to Curry in the Sunderland half on the left. Hume behind him. It's rolled back to Brown, into the middle again to Makosso, and Makosso, Mundle in front of him. He plays it behind him to Spencer, Brodie Spencer. Northern Ireland international, a couple of Northern Ireland internationals in the back four, Brown and Spencer, and here's Kieran Brown. No stranger, of course, to Trey Hume. No Dan Ballard today, he's not involved at all. The ball swung out wide on the right, headed forwards down the right wing by Stan Mills, but out for a throw to Sunderland, which is quickly taken by Sirkin to Luke O'Nien and rolled then to Robin Ruffs. And now to Mukele. And Mukele just outside the Sunderland penalty area. Just plays it across the midfield to Luke O'Nien, on to Enzo Lefebvre, down the touchline to Mundle. Sirkin's got forwards, Mundle's trying to make a run now. He's got 3 Oxford players around him, he still has possession, plays it behind him to Lefebvre, and Lefebvre nearly showed too much of it to Donnelly, I think it was, but he was fouled in the end, and he's won a free kick.
I'm just watching Lancashire playing against the likes of Mukele and O'Nien. He fancies himself against him, you know, he's a big lad.
Got a second yellow card in the 0-0 draw against Coventry the other week, and missed the game against Norwich on Tuesday night here. Robin Ruffs is back up in the centre circle. Hume will take the free kick. Enzo Lefebvre's had a word with him and is strolling towards the edge of the Oxford penalty area. Their next league game incidentally is Middlesbrough, so things don't get any easier for Oxford in their fight against relegation. They hold their line 18 yards out. Hume with the free kick up towards and over Sirkin, and then there's a
free kick
push on Lancashire in the penalty area, and it's a free kick to Oxford. I don't think anybody's bemoaning the planned move from the Kassam Stadium to a new stadium on the outskirts of Oxford at Kidlington on the north side or northwest side of the city. We're in the southeast side of the city, close to Cowley, where of course famously the Mini was built.
Look at the fighting.
Lancashire is battling with Mukaili. There was a lot of shirt tugging there, and that's what Lancashire is appealing to the officials about.
That's what I've got my eye on, you know, that battle between 09, Mukaili and Lancashire. And you've just seen there's a lot of shirt pulling going on. Got to be careful.
No VAR, of course. Here's Mukaili again, just inside the Sunderland half on the right hand side. Sweeps the ball up towards Isidore at the corner of the penalty. It comes down for Diarra, but Vaux gets on the end of the loose ball, and in the end Spencer plays a long ball up and over the head of Stan Mills and out for a throw at Mills for a throw to Sunderland, which Sirkin will take halfway inside his own half on the left hand side. O'Nien forwards to Sirkin again on that left side, and he just plays it back to O'Nien across to Mukaili. And so far 10 minutes in, it's hard to describe. The game's not been played with a huge amount of energy.
No.
Sirkin looking for the run of Isidore into the penalty area, but Makosso's over comfortably to get the ball off Isidore, but he drives it straight out to Lefay, and Lefay to Hertrauder and to Mukaili in the 11th minute now. The applause for Oxford legend Joey Beecham, who passed away 4 years ago. Oxford supporters starting to stand up here in the main stand. He paid tributes to him in the build-up as well. And Sunderland's fans on the far side all joining in with this minute's applause. Here's Mundle down the left of the penalty area, trying to drift in, but too many yellow shirts. And Oxford get the ball away up to the halfway line. Ginu's chasing this on the shoulder of Trey Hume, who's got in front of him. Goes down, Hume wins the free kick. Tom Kirk thought about it, but Ginu, capped twice by South Korea, had fouled Hume. 12 minutes played. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 0. Hume down the right, nice ball for Talby, who's barely got in the game as yet, but he gets a nice ball into Isidore, and he drives it into the side netting inside the 6-yard box. In fairness, he had Makosso on his shoulder, and it was a good ball in from Talby. That's the first real burst we've seen from Sunderland in the opening 12 minutes.
Good play down the right hand side, but again, that's what we're talking about, you know, the timing, you know. And again, maybe if he's been playing week in, week out, that crossing from Talby, he would have connected first time, and who knows, he could have scored. He seems as though he sort of went between his legs and sort of miskicked it, didn't he?
The Sunderland bench is Elborg, Siddiqui, Broby, Mayenda, Rigg, Angulo, Tarby, Jensen Jones and Jack Whitaker. Curry on the left, stabbed away by Hume, allowed to roll out by Brannigan, who takes the throw in front of Regis de Bries. Back it goes to Kieran Brown, former Cardiff City centre-back, the Northern Ireland international. Makosso back to Ingram, kicks up into the Sunderland half. Hume heads it back to Ruffs. Lancashire is in front of him. Ruffs distributes it quickly to Luke O'Nien, and he's paused a second, about 10 yards short of the halfway line on the left. Donnelly's in front of him, slips it inside to Hertrauder. Back to Luke O'Nien.
I think Sunderland have got a feel of the game now and they know what they're playing against, what the strengths and weaknesses are.
Mukaili wide to Hume. Ginu goes to close him down up towards Diarra, but Oxford win it back. Brannigan, Vaux, Curry, back to Brown, just outside the Oxford penalty area. Back to Vaux and to the keeper, Ingram. Isidore just going to close Ingram down, but he drills this up over Mukaele and Lankshire's head. It comes all the way back to Robin Ruffs in the D at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. On to Lefay, back to O'Nien. Lefay again, just inside his own half. Lefay so far in the game has been sitting quite deep, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just wants to get on the ball now, Lefay.
Mukaele
wants the ball all the time.
Here
now
he is again, Lefay in the centre circle. Trowder's made a run forward. It's gone wide to Mundle. Mundle's taking on Spencer down the left of the penalty area. Crosses, it will drop for Hume in the penalty area on the right. Puts a ball back in onto the penalty spot where it's headed out by Vaux and comes out to Lefay. And Lefay now finds Hume again on this right hand side. And back inside to Lefay, out to Hume again. And Hume, he tries to loop this down the right of the penalty area for Lefay. And it finally is knocked out for a throw to Oxford. On the left-hand side, 0-0. 15 minutes played. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. The one thing that neither of these teams wanted was this game to get called off.
Well,
and
not a replay, but
you know,
we don't want extra. We don't even want extra time.
No, the fixture schedule. Hume on the right into the Oxford half. He slipped a nice ball through for Isidore, but Makosso got in front of him and gets the ball back to the goalkeeper. Isidore goes to close him down again, but Ingram looks for Lancashire, who wins the header. Comes back though for Towby. Chests it down to Lefay in the centre circle. Lefay looking for options here, just finds Sirkin to his left. Back to Lefay. Taps it behind him to Herr Trowder, and Herr Trowder finds a gap for Isidore, but he's got Makosso on his shoulder again and leaves it for Vaux. And Will Vaux brings this out to the left wing, the Welsh international for Jinu, the South Korean international. Jinu looks up and short pass inside to Brannigan, out to Curry on the touchline. He crosses straight into the arms of Robin Ruffs in the 6-yard box. 0-0 still. Big kick upfield from Ruffs onto the chest of Spencer. He plays it back to Makosso. Brown into the middle again, Vaux and Brannigan. Brannigan looking for the run of Janu into the penalty area. Mukaele's gone with him, and the offside flag comes up on the far side.
He's done his job there, the assistant.
Free kick. Grimsby and Wolves is 0-0 at half time. It is 0-0 here, and we have played 17 minutes. O'Nien to Lefay to Sirkin, back again to Luke O'Nien, rolls it across the middle to Mukaele, and it's half time in the game at St Andrews in the extra time. 1-1 that game ended. Brannigan, Vaux in the middle, behind him Makosso. Now to Brown, back to Ingram. Isidore makes a run forwards. Ingram passes the ball out to Makosso. Back to Ingram. Ingram out to Brown. Back again to the goalkeeper. Again now, up through the middle, looking for Lankshire's run, and he could get on the end of this. Sirkin's got to get back. Lancashire into the penalty area, he needs some help, and it's Sirkin who manages to delay him. Comes back to Donnelly on his left, punched away by Ruffs. Out to Brannigan. Mundle might get on the end of this, flicks it over the head of Spencer, trying to get away from the right back, and he's got down the left wing Spencer on his shoulder and tries to get round him, which he does. Mundle, edge of the penalty area, still going. Mundle, low shot dragged across the face of goal, behind for a goal kick. Well, he ran much of the length of the pitch there.
Yeah,
just his end ball. I think he just tired himself out in trying to fight off Spencer.
Yeah, it was always in a fight down that left hand side. He's done well, Mundle, to battle and get his shot away. Unfortunately, it was just off target. But again, you know, it worries you, that ball what's just gone through.
That direct ball.
You know, direct ball. Lancashire's been able to run, get onto it. He's tried his shot, it was blocked. But look where he is now. You know, he fancies himself. You know.
And Janu just to his left. Mills to the right. Here's Lancashire, the long ball kicked up to him again, but it went over his shoulder. Back to Ruffs. 19 minutes nearly played, 0-0 here at the Kassam Stadium. Enzo Lefay I remind you again, of course, 1992, and I have to remind Benno because he can't remember it. Sunderland beat Oxford 3-2 in the 4th round and went to the FA Cup final. Not promising anything.
No, but we knew then that we was going to get to the cup final.
Did you? Goals from Byrne every round, of course. Hardiman and Atkinson. Vaux now plays the ball out to the right wing, looking for Mills, cut out by Lefay. Lefay inside to Hertrauder, out wide again, behind Mundle, out for a throw to Oxford United in there. Yellow and blue, deep in their own half on the right hand side. It's not exactly the dreaming spires, the vista from the Kassan Stadium. There's a couple of tower blocks and an industrial estate and a car park. Mundle is fouled. Who's it? Is fouled? Donnelly, is it? Yeah. Free kick though for Oxford, quickly taken. Across here to Brown, wide to Curry, inside to Janu, just inside Sunderland half. He's spun away from Diarra, then plays the ball behind him to Brannigan. Brannigan wheels away back inside his own penalty area, then swings it across to the right wing, looking for Stan Mills, who brought the ball down beautifully in front of Dennis Sirkin. He got his left foot to it, looking for Mundle. It swept past Mundle. Isidore went to try and win it, but Spencer got there before him. And now here's Vaux again into the centre circle for Oxford. Lancashire made that run, but he's gone left to Janu, and Janu dribbling at Hertrauder, corner of the penalty area, crossing for Lancashire. It'll run for Mills in the corner, keeps the ball in front of Dennis Sirkin, and Mills goes round him into the penalty area, pulls it back.
Well done,
O'Nien blocks it for the corner because Lancashire was there in the 6-yard box waiting for that ball.
And you can see that Oxford are growing with confidence, especially Janu here. He picks the ball. He looks a busy player, doesn't he?
He does.
Technically, he looks very good.
Stoke 1, Fulham 0.
The set pieces, this is what they'll work on, Oxford.
Yeah, Donnelly's going to take the corner on the right. Janu was with Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors and was released in 2025 and was signed this January by Oxford United. Short corner on the far side. Donnelly sweeps the cross in straight to Robin Ruffs. 0-0 still in the 22nd minute. Almost halfway through the first half, I think it's fair to say Ruffs has probably seen more of the ball, but Ingram's not been
tested at all.
Not been tested, has he?
I think the one player for Sunderland who's been busy is the lad Lefay. I think he's the one who's want to get on the ball and make things happen. We just needed a little bit more movement,
intensity,
up front.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, would that be the right word? Here's Diarra's dropped back deep to pick up the ball for Sunderland. Inside to Hertrauder, across to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien now up over the halfway line. Sirkin ahead of him, Mundle wide of him on the left wing. It's Mundle here, taps it inside to Lefay. Lefay turns away from Lancashire, inside to Hertrauder. Diarra, as Sunderland's substitutes have a little run out down the touchline here. Tarby, Rigg, Angulo and Siddiqui. Diarra back to Hertrauder and Mienda. 5 substitutes warming up.
I didn't think he could have 5 out.
I thought it was 4, but it's 5 clearly. And Diarra plays it back to Mukiele, just inside the Oxford half. He flicks a quick ball through, looking for Isidore and Lefay, but Oxford have defended it and won a free kick, which is driven upfield for Mills to chase. Onto his head, over Luke O'Nien's shoulder. Mills still trying to get the ball off O'Nien, which he has, and Lancashire tried to side foot a shot from just inside the penalty area, but it ricochets away to Janu on this left-hand side of the penalty box, and he lays it off to Curry. Closed down by Talby, he's gone round him, he crosses, it's hooked in the air by Hertrauder, and comes back to Brown on the left, inside the Sunderland half, into Vaux in the centre circle, leaves it for Donnelly, back to Vaux, and now to Brannigan, wide on the left. Brannigan, Diarra in front of him, Janu back to Vaux on halfway, left of the centre circle, but Isidore wins it off him, survives one challenge but not the next, and wins a free kick. Brannigan's foul, rolling ball, says the referee Tom Kirk, so the free kick will have to be taken again. 0-0. 24 minutes played. BBC Radio Newcastle, BBC Sounds. Now Trowder is going to take the free kick. Short pass to Mukeli, who takes the free kick technically. Back to Trowder, and Trowder just at the front of the centre circle, plays it to Hume on the right and wide to Talby. Talby takes this inside, bit of pace, rolls it to Trowder in the middle. Trowder is going to shoot, and that's well over. Almost went down exit E4. So 0-0 still, nearly 25 minutes played.
Yeah, and I just think that Sunderland needs to up the quality, the tempo of the game.
The winners in this round get £127,000. The losers get nothing in the fourth round.
Nothing.
The losers get a payment for losing in the third round and below, but once you reach the fourth round, so only the winners are winners, if you see what I mean. Talby plays it off Curry for a throw just a few yards from Regis Lebris, who's having a word in Talby's ear as he runs past him. Hume will take this throw. There's Mike Dodds crouched down in his bobble hat in the Oxford technical area. Foul on Isidore just inside the Oxford half. Isidore picks himself up, his muddied shirt. Sunderland in their red and white, if you're just joining us on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds this afternoon. Oxford in yellow with dark blue sleeves and dark blue shorts and yellow socks with a blue band around the top. Hume will take this free kick just inside the Oxford United half. Ruffs is standing in the centre circle as well. Played by Hume, good ball to Lefay inside the penalty area to Diarra. It's a weak shot though, which the keeper saves comfortably at the post. Didn't really get his foot through it.
Didn't get any power behind it.
That shot coming in the 27th minute. And now down goes Lancashire. The referee's giving nothing here. Mukeli just nudges the referee. I don't know if he meant to do that, but play goes on.
Good pass.
Down the left. Lefay wheeling inside, turning on, spinning on it twice, then going down and winning the free kick. Oxford fans furious.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, Lefay is the one who's actually trying to make things happen.
Yeah,
he's the one who wants to get on the ball. He's playing at least some tempo. He's trying to create things.
Right in the middle of the Oxford half. Robin Ruffs strolls about in the centre circle. There are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sunderland players on the touchline. Well, at least 5 of them are actually heading back to the dugout, leaving Jensen Jones and Jack Whittaker.
Must be new rules, is it?
I lose track of what the substitute rules are and how many of them are allowed to run up and down the touchline.
At one time they couldn't train.
It used to be 3, then it became 4, and now it seems to be 5. It's there are 5 Oxford substitutes warming up. Well, Broby's joined Jensen Jones and Jack Whittaker. 4 Sunderland players were around the ball. It's now just Lefay. Trey Hume is walking back towards the centre circle. Luke O'Nien's just to the right of Enzo Lefay, who you must think might fancy his chances with this one. It's about 30 yards out. A wall of yellow in front of him through the D along the 18-yard line, peppered with a few red and white striped shirts. Enzo Lefay then, the referee just to his right as well. Lefay with his right foot lifts it over the crossbar. 2 attempts from distance, both of them well over the bar. Trowder.
Does that free kick sum up this game at the present
It does
moment?
in a way, doesn't it?
I
wouldn't say
something to happen.
It's not pedestrian. It's not being played with intensity.
It's lacking.
It's lacking something though,
quality.
Isn't it? Quality, yeah. Nearly half an hour played, and it's laconic, isn't it? It's just hasn't really got going yet, which I suspect Oxford, it will favour them. They will feel, that they can get something from this. Here's Lancashire wide on the left, behind him is Brannigan, inside to Vaux, and he leaves it for Makosso, and he's lifted a ball up into the penalty area looking for the run of Lancashire, but Roofs catches that ahead of the loanee from Tottenham, who's got 7 goals this season, 6 of them in the Championship and 1 in the FA Cup, Will Lancashire. Lefay on the halfway line, Trowder just next to him, just over a quarter of an hour until half time. Trowder back to Luke O'Nien, down the left again to Mundle. Serkins backing into the penalty area at the corner. Mundle plays it behind him to O'Nien, and now to Trowder. Back to Luke O'Nien. Mundle stretches to get it to Lefay on the touchline, who's played it into Serkin in the penalty area. Makosso on his shoulder, and he's brought penalty. He's brought Serkin down on the edge of the penalty area, and Tom Kirk is pointed to the penalty spot.
He was a little bit, shall we say, wild with that challenge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't need to make that challenge there. You make a challenge like that, then you're asking questions from the referee, and he's pointed to the spot.
Pointed straight to the spot, and he's awarded the penalty.
Good build-up play by Sunderland, because he was going nowhere.
Wasn't going anywhere. If anywhere, he was going to be shepherded out for a goal kick.
Not complaining.
But Enzo Lefay will take the penalty kick. He scored 2 penalties.
I think he's not going to change his mind.
Not now. Not with
the goalkeeper's
VAR
in his ear. There's no VAR.
So a chance here in the 32nd minute. In fact, Lefay has left the ball for Diarra to take the penalty.
Who's taking it? Diarra
is going to take this penalty kick.
Why didn't Lefay take it?
He gave the ball, Lefay, to Habib Diarra, who steps up and rolls it into the bottom right-hand corner very calmly, very cool.
Yeah, good penalty.
Gave me a few palpitations when he stepped up very slowly, but he's buried the ball in the bottom right corner, and Sunderland take the lead.
Do you know something, Nick? It just makes you wonder, what the referee thoughts were in regards of yesterday. He must have watched the referee in yesterday, and you're just thinking, if he's been put in that position, especially with no VAR, is he going to give it? Because he would have seen some decisions given yesterday which would have been questionable.
Well, Sunderland take the lead.
Because he didn't think twice about it.
Straight away he made the decision. Serkin went down in a bundle right on the edge of the penalty area. I wonder if was it in or was it out? We'll never know from where we're sitting, and we've got no monitors. But as you say, Tom Kirk, no hesitation in awarding the penalty, and Sunderland lead by 1-0. So
he's going to get a yellow.
As Brannigan's writhing around, Lefay gets booked.
Yeah,
for that foul on the Oxford captain. But it puts some pressure on Oxford now to come out a goal behind.
Yeah.
Diarra then, the 2nd goal of the season, a penalty in the FA Cup.
It's interesting that he gave him the ball.
Yeah, what the discussion was there, because Lefay certainly was holding the ball to start with. Brannigan's back up on his feet. 34th minute. The free kick is just on the left of the centre circle, just inside the Sunderland half.
We get too used to VAR and monitors, don't we? Because everything you look and you're thinking, right, you're going to see a replay,
But we're back to League One days here, back to, albeit Oxford are in the Championship, maybe not for much longer. The free kick Donnelly's going to take on halfway, just pretty much, and a line held by Sunderland, good 25 yards out. Trowder and Lancashire is pushing and shoving between the pair of them. The referee's got his eye on it. The referee is watching the pair of them. He's trying to keep an eye on the free kick taker and that pair. The flag stays down, floats over the heads of Mills and Sirkin and goes behind for a goal kick. So 1-0 to Sunderland. 35th minute of this FA Cup 4th round tie, live on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. Ruffs throws the ball down to Mukaele, flicks it into his hands and puts it down, and then just pushes it back with his hand to Robin Ruffs, who places it in the middle of the 6-yard line, further antagonising the Oxford fans. Ruffs with the kick, up it floats, looking for Isidore, and looked to me that came off his arm, but no response or reaction from the officials. There was a little shout from the crowd. Curry on the left on the halfway line, forwards to the South Korean Jinwoo, who's won a free kick.
I'll tell you what, he's
yellow
got a yellow card for you. Yeah.
2 yellow cards in fairly swift succession for Lefay and Hume. The free kick on the left-hand side, wide. Brannigan halfway inside the Sunderland half. Jinwoo jogs across to the edge of the D. Mills is out on his left-hand side now, and Brannigan whips it in with his right foot, and Isidore heads it back over Curry's shoulder. Mundle will sprint after him. Curry plays it back to the goalkeeper at the edge of the Oxford penalty area, and a big kick upfield again, looking for Lancashire. He's got his eye on it. O'Nien brings it down, and he controls it well actually, and finds Lefay, who plays it back to Sirkin, and Sirkin coming away on the left here to Mundle. Mundle still just inside his own half, lifts one across the pitch, looking for Taulby, comes up off his head and behind the touchline for a throw to Oxford. Taulby hasn't got in the game enough for me.
No. We struggled to get him in into the game.
Mundle in a few times, but they're not getting Taulby in really on this right hand side, Sunderland. Throw from Curry up towards Lancashire, backing into Hume. The ball runs into O'Nien in the centre circle. He pushes it on to Sirkin, back to Trowder in the middle, and Trowder looks up, plays it wide right. Hume, Taulby down that touchline, but he's swept the ball up towards Lefay. Lovely ball in for Diarra on the goal line. He's held it, but then he's got it back again, because it was won back by Curry, but he let it sit there and Diarra got it. Now it's played in by Taulby to Lefay, looking for Isidore, but it was cut out. It was intercepted as Isidore was about to put his right foot through it.
I'll tell you what, that just sums up Lefay. Unbelievable touches. 2 great touches there.
Birmingham and Leeds has gone to penalties. Here's Mukaele back inside his own half. 38th minute here at the Kassam Stadium. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. Habib Diarra from the penalty spot after a foul on Sirkin by Christ Makosso.
You can see Lefay's enjoying it, isn't he?
Yeah, well, it's getting all that. It's because he's involved. He's the one that's calling all the shots at the moment in terms of Sunderland.
Yeah.
He wanted the ball here on the right, but it's gone left. Back to Ruffs and out to O'Nien. And O'Nien lifts one down the left wing. Isidore will sprint for it, but the ball runs away. The offside flag comes up, and it's a free kick to Oxford. We've got, we've played 38 minutes. Won't be a huge amount of time added on at the end of the first half. Barely any stoppages. Out comes Ingram, the goalkeeper, to take the free kick. And on the right side of Oxford central midfield, and played down the right. Sirkin's got to keep his eye on this because Mills is behind him. Heads it out to Mundle, who has Vaux behind him, who fouls Mundle in front of all the Sunderland fans. And Sunderland fans making that capital opportunity to taunt Vaux and Oxford. Robin Russ then will take the free kick just left of the penalty area, and there's a booking for Vaux. Did he say something back to the Sunderland fans that he's been booked? So the ironic, I won't say what they're singing, but there you go, they're enjoying themselves, the Sunderland fans on the far side.
I just wanted to know who they are.
Yeah. Trowder forwards to Mundle, Sunderland leading 1-0. Sirkin behind him, Trowder, and he's given the ball away to Vaux, who may have the last laugh here. He's tumbled down, the referee's let the advantage go. Lancashire tries to get in round Mukaele, but Mukaele takes the ball away on the left and plays it out straight to Mundle. Mundle's pushed over again, and dare I say, is it Vaux?
It's getting a little bit heated.
Pleading that he didn't do anything wrong. In fact, it was Mills that time. Free kick to Sunderland. Robin Ruffs comes out to take this. 5 minutes till half time. Ruffs just a yard or so in from touch on the left hand side. Drives this high in the air, hangs, and Makosso will head it back to Hume, who heads it forwards from the centre circle towards the left, looking for Mundle. Sirkin gets on the end of it, comes down for Mills, finds Donnelly, just keeps it in, and he's rolled it forwards, and Lancashire's trying to get around Mukaele, and in trying to do so leaves the ball for O'Nien. O'Nien to Diarra, right back to the edge of his own penalty area, passing it back to Ruffs on the left. Donnelly goes to close him down. Ruffs kicks up into the Oxford half. Makosso heads it away from Isidore, picked up by Vaux. He's now being booed by the Sunderland fans. Back to Ingram, out to Brown. Brown closed down by Diarra, and back to the goalkeeper. Isidore closes, but the ball kicked up long, looking for Lancashire, headed away by Mukaele, drops for Brannigan, and wide to Mills. Mills taking on Sirkin towards the right corner of the penalty area, goes in round Sirkin, he tumbles down. That is not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
The ball goes behind for a corner.
No, he was already going down.
He was going down from his own momentum. There's a second Oxford corner. Oxford trail 1-0. Jack Donnelly, Jamie Donnelly, sorry, has gone across to take the corner again on the right, below the end of the stand. It ends not even quite beyond the edge of the pitch. The end of the stand's in line with the goal line where the Sunderland fans are housed. Here's Donnelly. Donnelly swings it in with his left. Hume heads it strongly out. Drops for Brannigan, puts it back in. Hume, right foot to it, out again. Vaux heads it back, and Brannigan will put it back in again, looking for Lancashire, but nodded down by Mukaele to O'Nien, and he gets it up to the halfway line, onto the chest of Curry. Brannigan down the left, it's gone out. It's a throw to Sunderland. Oh, Brannigan squares up to Diarra, there's a bit of pulling and tugging going on. Brannigan runs away from it straight to the referee. Diarra, and Diarra's called to the referee as well here. Brannigan's still arguing the point, taps Diarra on the back as he walks to the referee. Diarra stood in front of Tom Kirk as well, just telling them to calm things down. And Diarra leans towards the referee, shakes Brannigan's hand, and they're ushered away by the referee. The last time he was in charge of a Sunderland game was at Norwich in March 2024, when Norwich won 1-0. As I was saying earlier, just elevated to the Premier League's list of referees. He refereed 2 Premier League games just before Christmas. Hume with the throw, 44th minute. Back to Mukaele, on again to Hume, and then Mukaele puts the ball up into the centre circle. Makosso forwards to Vaux, back to Brown, and then the ball is swung wide to the right, looking for Brodie Spencer. He chests it forwards, crosses, tried to, but blocked, and it goes out for a throw in the corner. Issa Searle is the fourth official. Vaux with the long throw in front of his mates over on the far side, all wearing red and white. Drives the ball off. Sam Long, the right back, will have been disappointed not to be starting this afternoon. His mother's from Sunderland. And Vaux is going to take the long throw. Issa Searle's got the ball. The fourth official will see how much will get added on shortly. The ball thrown into the 6-yard box. Oh, and a header wide. Mokosso. That was a big opportunity for the centre-back, but he's nodded it down past the foot of the post.
Yeah.
He'll be kicking himself as he didn't get that on target.
And that's what we touched upon about in regards of you damn Ballard.
That was a big opportunity for Oxford. Leeds beat Birmingham on penalties 4-2. But here it's 1-0 to Sunderland, a penalty in the 32nd minute, and we're going to have how much? He comes out now.
4 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. But, the ball comes back to the ball back with Roofs. Big kick upfield to the edge of the Oxford penalty and nodded back by Spencer to the goalkeeper. Now, I've been sent something about new Premier League rules for 24-25, so it was last season. Clubs now have 5 players warming up. That is the rule. Did mention it earlier in the season, I saw it, but that's clarification of that, so thanks Anne for that. As Sirkin smashes a ball into the...
And you know what's going to happen here. Another long throw.
And Vaux comes forwards for the long throw. We've had nearly a minute at the minimum 2 being added on, but Vaux is going to put the ball up into the penalty area. Mokosso, as I say, header wide from 6 yards. Big opportunity to equalise.
Mokosso, careful, he's a big lad.
6'4". Vaux then from the far side, the long throw hangs in the air. It's headed by Hertrauder out, and that has come back towards the corner of the penalty area, and then it's played on.
Oh, good head tennis.
To Brannigan. Low ball driven in, stabbed away by Hume. We've got about 15 seconds left, and here Mokosso trying to get the ball forwards, and he's run into Diarra. Diarra has won the ball back, battling on the far side on the touchline before he wins the free kick.
Well done. You've done well there, Mundell, using his body.
Diarra managed to get the ball out, but there was just too many yellow shirts around, and I think a foul was probably the inevitable outcome of that. So we head into a 3rd minute of added time. 2 minutes was the allotted time, and we will see this free kick, and I suspect this is the point at which Tom Kirk will blow for the interval. Roofs, as he does indeed, blow for half-time, and it's Sunderland who head in leading through that penalty in the 32nd minute from Habib Diarra, after Sirkin was pulled down by Mokosso on the left edge of the penalty area. Not a great first half, not one played with any sort of energy or intensity. It took a penalty in the end to break to get the game sort of into any sort of shape where someone's got to have a go, and a few boos I think for the referee for one reason or another. Mokosso had an excellent opportunity with a header from 6 yards to equalise just before half time, but I'm struggling to highlight this game as a spectacle. It's not been a great game.
Well, it's one of them games where you've got to battle. You know what Oxford's all about, We've got to raise the tempo. I think Lefebvre's been excellent in that first 45 minutes. He's the one who wants to get on the ball. He's the one who wants to create opportunities, and I think we just need a little bit more from. Again, you mentioned Talby. He struggled to get into the game. We've gone majority of the time down that left-hand side. Can we get Isidore in? Can he be a little bit more effective in the game? We've seen, obviously, Lancashire. He's having a battle between 09 and Mukiele, and I think they're doing quite well with him. But you can see the quality, but we've just got to be a little bit more consistent with him.
I do wonder in the second half, we reach about the hour mark, depending on where the scoreline is at that stage. I wonder if we'll see Angulo and Tarby come on for Mundell and Talby.
Yeah, I think they will come on, get 20-25 minutes out of the game, but I think it's important, especially in the second half, that we start it right. I think we get the second goal, and I think I would say you put the game to bed then.
The substitutes are Elborg, of course, Siddiqui, Broby, Mienda, Rigg, Angulo, Tarby, Jensen Jones and Jack Whittaker. We're not likely to see Jensen Jones or Jack Whittaker. I do wonder, will Mienda get an opportunity later in the game? If Isidore gets an hour or so. I'm surprised in some ways that Mienda didn't start the game, but I think the other side of that coin is that Isidore has been champing at the bit to get minutes, and it's probably more likely that he was going to start than Mienda this afternoon.
Yeah, you're looking at that. You're looking at the likes of Mienda. Can he get some minutes? You're looking at the likes of even Chris Rigg. He will be questioning himself. If he can't get any minutes in this FA Cup tie, then he's most probably thinking, when am I going to get any game time? So yeah, we've got one or two who's on the bench who think that they should be getting some minutes, and again, you just think, basically, if you can't get any minutes in this game, then when are you going to get them? Because as we go on, hopefully, fingers crossed, you get to the next round, you would imagine that Reggie Lebris will play even a much stronger team in the next round.
Well, so far so good in terms of the scoreline. The draw, incidentally, for the fifth round is on Monday evening before Monday night's game, and I just want to reassure you, Benno, Port Vale are still currently in the competition.
Are they still in?
Because their game with Bristol City was called off and won't be played until 4 days before the fifth round weekend. So the Port Vale Sunderland fifth round cup tie is still on the cards. We've got
I was going to say there's some, let's get through this, but there can be some, shall we say, mouth-watering ties.
Indeed,
I think Leeds have just gone through.
Yes, they have on penalties.
Newcastle are through.
They are indeed.
And then you've got Port Vale who may get through.
But you know that Port Vale Sunderland is written in the stars for you. So we've got the second half to come on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds at half-time here at the Kassam Stadium, where thankfully it's still not raining. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Valentine's this weekend, we're talking dating disasters. Mags is on the phone, and yours happened when you got taken out for a Chinese, yeah?
He said, you fancy going out? And I said, oh yeah. Tell you what, take you out for a nice meal. I said, oh, lovely. At the end of the night, he went, oh dear, I forgot my card. He went, well, you got paid today.
No.
I couldn't believe it. My cost is nearly £60 on my wages.
Oh, Max, 60 quid.
Every time I think of spring rolls, I couldn't believe it.
Matt Bailey at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Newcastle.
Sunderland lead then by a goal to 0 at the Kassam Stadium at half-time. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. We'll be back with Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett for full commentary of the second half in around about 10 minutes time. Elsewhere today, I know Nick and Gary have been keeping you updated. Leeds United have won on penalties. They beat Birmingham in a shootout after extra time. Patrick Roberts, formerly of Sunderland, had scored a terrific goal in the last minute of the 90 for Birmingham to equalise, take it to extra time. No goals in the additional 30 minutes, but then Leeds have won it on penalties. Grimsby Town of League 2 are 1-0 down at home to Premier League Wolves on a pitch that's being described as a quagmire. It is incredibly muddy at Grimsby at Blundell Park, but Wolves are winning by a goal to 0. Santiago Bueno after an hour. Stoke are 1-0 up on Fulham as well. That's at half time to Beijing Ho after 20 minutes. The Grimsby Wolves game kicked off at 12:30, so they're about 20 minutes into the second half. There's a game at 4:30 as well which is Arsenal against Wigan, and tomorrow the final game is Macclesfield against Brentford. And as Nick told you earlier, the draw for the 5th round is just before that one. Yesterday West Ham got through after extra time against Burton Albion. Mansfield of League One knocked out the Premier League side Burnley. Manchester City through Norwich, and West Ham, incidentally, two of the teams that Sunderland also played in their journey to the final in 1992. Southampton beat Leicester and Liverpool beat Brighton by 3-0. On Friday night, Chelsea were 4-0 winners at Hull, and Wrexham beat Ipswich. The one game I haven't mentioned yesterday is the other one that was a commentary game here live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Newcastle United are through to the 5th round for the 3rd season in a row, helped by the first 2 goals of this season from Sandro Tonali and a birthday goal from Nick Voltemada as well. Dan Burn played 90 minutes at left back, and he spoke to our Newcastle commentator Matthew Raisbeck afterwards.
Yeah, I thought we played really well, to be honest. First half I thought we moved the ball well. Goal hit well a little bit. Obviously it was offside, which was disappointing that they didn't see that, but I thought it was sure just sort of the character that we've got in the squad that we managed to respond. Obviously going down to 10 men, I think sometimes it can sort of help and be a hindrance. I think it puts a bit of pressure on, but we're patient, got a little bit of luck with the first goal, and then controlled the game well. So yeah, really good performance.
Not about the decision specifically, but when there are big calls that are going against you, and clearly you know that some of them are wrong without having to watch them back, how hard is it just to keep you cool and not get involved? I know some players did say their bit, but it must be really difficult.
Yeah, it is tough. Like, you get emotional. I think when those type of things are happening in the game, it is hard to sort of keep your composure. But I thought we did deal with it pretty well, considering there was a few that I didn't think went our way. A few 50-50s I didn't think that we got either. But yeah, I think all in all, just buzzing for Sandy as well. Like 2 goals, Big Nick playing in the 8 and scoring as well on his birthday. So yeah, good day all round. Gives you a bit of momentum now. It's 2 sort of away game wins, which I know that people have made a lot about. We're not performing and getting wins away. And then on to Karabag now. Yeah,
how important do you think the last few days have been, both in terms of the way you played, the results, as you mentioned, big results away from home against good teams, but the positivity it's brought as well? Yeah, I think so as well. I think obviously we've spoke between players and staff, and always seem to have like this once a season where there's like sort of a few home truths spoken. I think it just gives everyone a bit of a reset, and you sort of reflect on what we did well in the past and what we wanted to get back to, and everyone's sort of sticking with each other, and I think we've done that, try to support each other and push each other through, and yeah, like maybe not 2 complete performances, but performances that I thought deserved 3 points. 3 points Tottenham, but through the next round of the FA Cup.
So that's Dan Burn after Newcastle did indeed get themselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. Elsewhere today, away from the FA Cup, couple of really big games in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers against Hearts at 4:30, but Celtic at half-time are 2-0 down at Kilmarnock. Motherwell Aberdeen is goalless. In the Women's Super League, a huge win, incredible win for Spurs, 7-3 away at Aston Villa. Chelsea beat Liverpool 2-0. Everton 1-0 winners over West Ham. Man United came from behind to beat London City Lionesses 2-1, and Brighton against Arsenal was postponed. In the Women's Super League 2, Durham beaten 4-2 earlier on today away at Charlton. The leaders Mariana Speckmeyer in the first half for Durham, Alicia Ndow with an own goal 5 minutes before the end for Durham. They did make a real fist of it at certain times in that game. At half time, Southampton are 1-0 up at Bristol City, and Newcastle United lead Portsmouth 1-0 as well at the International Stadium in Gateshead. Emily Murphy 3 minutes before half time. The other 2 games, which included Sunderland against Nottingham Forest, were postponed. Non-league wise, yesterday a 16th defeat in a row for Gateshead, beaten 2-1 at home by Brackley despite a Mark Beck header with 10 minutes to go. Here's the manager Rob Elliott speaking to Mark Carruthers.
Rob, it feels to me like that was basically the opening 20-25 minutes has cost you the game.
Yeah, you're exactly spot on. I spoke to the lads about a start, that we needed to make sure we start the game well, be solid and defend the box. No, we let ourselves down in the first 5 minutes from a set piece, and we've done the same again. And then, second phase, we told them, they get the ball wide, they put it in the box, they slowly, they killed the game, which they did. Fair play to them. They're on a good run and they did brilliantly well. But yeah, it's frustrating because before we can get into the game, we're out of it, if that makes sense. And I thought the lads reacted well. The substitutes again, brilliant. Obviously, could have scored 3-4 at the end, but just that little bit of quality time and some brilliant defending and goalkeeping, and it wasn't to be. But it's just one of them ones where I think we have to, we really have to look at ourselves and understand that what it takes over 90 minutes to win football matches. And like I said to the boys there, the first 15 minutes isn't acceptable for us in this situation that we're in. So we need to earn the right in the first 15-20 minutes, then we can build into games and get control. So yeah, disappointing. Obviously loads of positives and improvements, but still disappointing because we need to get points and we want to get points.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I know at times you try to look at the bigger picture, but the immediate picture is the fact that we're still bottom of the league. This run of defeats has gone on and been extended by today, but you still sound positive. Is that the message you're trying to give to supporters as much as your players?
Yeah, well, if you're prioritising it, of course you want to win games of football, but I think there's bigger things that need to change at this football club. I spoke about in my interview, new training grounds, that real connection with the academy, the development of staff off the pitch. Obviously you know how thin we are and bare bones we are, and it's about getting the club back to being stable, getting the club being able to compete and be able to survive, to be honest with you. So yes, as much as there's lots of work on the pitch, and I'm pleased with the players we brought in, I am. Yes, I'd like to add more, if I'm being honest, and I'd like to develop the players that are here as well. Obviously there's players that need minutes. Dom, for example, it's good to see him back on the pitch. Chappie, I didn't get 20-30 minutes. Joe Grayson, Kent's back after a long time. Radders hadn't played for ages, so 2 games. It was a bit of a risk, but I know the type of lad he is, he'll get through. So yeah, we just need to manage that and make sure we're back where we need to be in terms of what the club is as a whole, not just on the pitch. And again, the reception of the fans after the game was brilliant. So pleased with them and proud of them, and they were pleased and proud with the boys. But we've got to give ourselves a chance. That's really what we've got to do. We've got to give ourselves a chance in the first 15-20, and then the football will come and all those things.
Is there a chance of any players coming in?
Potentially, but it has to be the right people and the right players who understand what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go. So look, I don't think it's a case that we need to go out and get loads of players in. I really like the players we've got here, and I think they're proving that they can definitely compete and they're strong enough to do it. But I do also think that we need time, and we also need understanding of what needs to be done in the short term and then what can be done in the long term.
So that's Rob Elliott there, the Gateshead boss, speaking to Mark Carruthers after their defeat yesterday. Really good draw though for Hebburn Town, 1-1 at home to FC United of Manchester. That was first against fourth. It's the third 1-1 draw in a row, but it's come against the teams second, third and fourth in the NPL Premier Division table. Hebburn now a point clear of Hennister at the top. They were beaten heavily yesterday, and they've got a game in hand, Hebburn, as well. So congratulations to them, and to Ashington, who got their first win since Christmas, winning 2-0 away at North Ferriby yesterday in the East Division. Louis Burns and Liam Wotherspoon with second half goals. Blythe Spartans though losing in the 95th minute 1-0 away at Emley. In Rugby League today, they have just kicked off Newcastle Thunder at Blaydon. They're taking on Dewsbury Rams in Rugby League's Championship. They're 2 from 2 at the start of this season, going for a third win in a row. Newcastle Thunder. In the Women's Super League Basketball last night, Newcastle Eagles women beaten 82-65 by Sheffield Hatters. In the Scottish National League Ice Hockey, Whitley Warriors are away at Solway Sharks today. 5:15 that starts. Starting in about 10 minutes in the Six Nations, France taking on Wales in Cardiff. France, the only side left that could win a Grand Slam, because no one else has won their first 2 matches of the season. And at the Winter Olympics in Italy, Team GB has a second gold medal of the Games. It's the first ever gold medal on snow as well. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale winning snowboard crosses mixed team event to add Olympic gold to a World Championship title that they'd won a few years ago as well. Right then, Sunderland leading by a 0-0 through a penalty at half-time at Oxford United. Second half of the FA Cup 4th round tie coming up with Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett.
Half-time highlights.
Total Sport North East.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Mundell stretches to get it to Lefay on the touchline, who's played it into Sirkin in the penalty area. Makosso on his shoulder, and he's brought penalty. He's brought Sirkin down on the edge of the penalty area, and Tom Kirk is pointed to the penalty spot. Diarra is going to take this penalty kick.
Why didn't Lefay take it?
He gave the ball, Lefay, to Habib Diarra, who steps up and rolls it into the bottom right hand corner very calmly, very cool.
Yeah, good penalty.
And Sunderland take the lead.
Total Sport North East.
The FA Cup.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
The team's out for the second half. I've been amusing myself with the team sheet, because what they've done for the team sheet while we wait for the kickoff is they've written down everybody's full names. So it's Luke Terry O'Nien. More amusing for me though is Brian Ebenezer Adbroby.
You've done some homework there, hasn't he? Really?
It's all here on the team sheet. Romain Lee Mundle, Nordi Mukuyeli Muleri, Enzo Jeremy Lefay.
Jeremy.
B. Djamgon Jocelyn Tar. B. Anyway, some of them they've run out of space to write the full name. We're underway for the second half, and Sunderland defending the goal away to our right-hand side in this second period. As we look down from the main stand of the 3 uniform stands here at the Kassam Stadium, so playing from right to left in their red and white stripes, black shorts, red and white socks. Oxford in yellow and brown. For a moment there, lost track of the ball, and Isidore nearly got in, but the keeper was alert, and Ingram gets the ball clear. So as I was saying, from right to left, Ruffs in goal, Hume, McKaylee, O'Nien and Sirkin, Talby, Diarra, Hertrauder, Mundle, Lefay and Isidore. The bench for Sunderland: Elborg, Siddiqui, Broby, Mienda, Rigg and Gulo, Tarby, Jensen Jones and Jack Whittaker. I haven't got time to give them their full names. The Oxford team, the ball is back with Robin Ruffs, Ingram in goal, Spencer, Makosso, Brown and Curry, and the midfield of Mills, Brannigan, Vauxx, Janu, Jamie Donnelly playing behind Will Lancashire. Up front, Stan Mills, the son of Danny Mills, who's here watching him play today. The ball back with Robin Ruffs just outside the D. Sunderland leading through that penalty. I think there's been some debate as to whether it was a penalty or not. It was right on the line, on the left edge of the penalty area. Here's Mundle taking the ball on and trying to step over down the left of the penalty area, getting into the box, onto his right foot, trying to tee up Lefay, with a shot from Lefay blocked by Brannigan at the edge of the area, and it runs to Talby on the right. Talby trying to get in the box, Enzo Lefay trying to slip it back through to him as he made a run in, but Oxford get the ball away, and Janu crashes into Hume. Hume just stood his ground, and the referees awarded a free kick.
Good play by Mundle.
He did well. He weaved in, went past 2 or 3 players, tried to tee up Lefay, but the shot blocked. So Matt Ingram, all in black, the Oxford keeper, out to take the free kick for the home team in this grey, bleak afternoon, as the ball floats up towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area, headed away initially by Luke O'Nien, but back in by Mills, and then it's off Sirkin from Donnelly's attempt to cross, I think, for a corner. It's Oxford third corner. Sunderland haven't had a corner yet in the game. Donnelly, I think, will take this. Jamie Donnelly going to the right, away to our right to take this. And from the last corner, Makosso will probably feel he should have scored. He had a header from 6 yards, but he put it past the post. He should have got it on target. Donnelly then from the right.
A lot of fighting going on now in the box.
A lot of pushing, and a bit of shirt tugging on Brown as well from O'Nien. It floats over everybody's heads, and the referees let it go, Tom Kirk, and the ball rolls behind for a goal kick. So 1-0 still to Sunderland. Oxford will always feel they're still in it.
Well, it's still in it when it's 1-0.
Robin Ruffs has ushered his players upfield for the goal kick. We'll take from the middle of the 6-yard line up over the halfway line. Isidore stretches, goes down with Makosso. Referee's had his eye on it, but not giving anything, as Mundle finds Isidore backing into Makosso, who's trying to get his foot to it, which he did. Manages to get it to Vauxx.
He's going to get.
There's.
He went down too easy, Makosso.
Yeah, he's kneeling down at the moment. Referee's marching back towards Makosso. He's on his knees. He's rolled onto his side here, sitting up, and a yellow card for Isidore.
Yellow card to Isidore.
Who dramatically puts his head in his hands.
He's handing them out like confetti.
Well, that's 3 now.
That's 3, and the worry is you know, you're just going to take a challenge maybe from a Hume or whatever, and it's a second yellow card. You know, Lefay's been booked.
Lefay, Hume and Isidore. Vaux has been booked for Oxford as well. So Ingram to take the free kick again on this right hand side with his left, swings to the right, Sirkin heads it out, throw to Oxford. Vaux comes down. It's going to be a long throw from Will Vaux. Oxford, who made 8 changes from the team that lost 3-0 to Norwich in the week. Vaux steps back onto the blankets, the sheets that were left for covering the pitch, and gets it into the 6-yard box or the corner of it. O'Nien heads it away. Mundle has to get to the corner and taps it back inside and gets away from Mills, who caught him. And so a free kick to Sunderland.
Well done, Mundle.
Left of the...
He does that well, doesn't he? You know, he does get back and defend. Helps the full back out.
He'll be pleased to get a start. Remain Mundle. Roofs has come out to the left of the penalty area to take the free kick. 51st minute. Oxford 0, Sunderland 1. BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. The ball floats up to Isidore. Makosso heads it away straight to Herr Trauder, who rolls it to Hume. Hume has Taulby ahead of him on the right hand side. Taulby coming back, being forced back out by Jack Curry. Herr Trauder back to Mukiele, on to Taulby again. Herr Trauder behind him, Mukiele, and then on towards Hume, who tried to flick it on through for Diarra, but it's been won back by Oxford. Vaux, Diarra gets in front of him, but he's passed it to the left to Curry, back inside from the touchline to Vaux. Now Makosso on the right side of Oxford central midfield, and then to Spencer, Brodie Spencer, the Northern Ireland international, as is Kieran Brown alongside of him in defence. And Lefay, well, he tried to show a bit of trickery and get forward. It was too much for Donnelly, who caught him. And Lefay is down on his side. Mundle's having a word with the referee. And Sirkin is over Lefay, checking he's okay. Lefay's back up on his feet. Luke O'Nien recovers the ball. He'll take the free kick. 53rd minute. In fact, he's thrown it down as though Sirkin could take it, but I think O'Nien will. Matt Bloomfield's not happy. He's well out of his technical area. Matt Bloomfield is almost on the touchline, arguing about something, pointing back and having a word. O'Nien with the free kick, headed away by Spencer, picked up by Vaux, who turns and hooks it high up into the Sunderland half. O'Nien was tugging Lankshire's shirt, but it's come back into the Oxford half. Brannigan, behind him is Brown. Brown forwards again to Vaux. Vaux back to Brown, across to Makosso, back to Brown, who's nearly a bit short. Isidore was going to try and intercept, but it's gone back to the goalkeeper, who plays it out to Brown on the far side in front of the Sunderland fans. Played a ball up, looking for Lancashire, down the left of the penalty area, smashed away by Mukiele. Throw for Oxford. Vaux comes down to take another long throw for the home team. 54th minute. Vaux steps back onto the track, running around the pitch. Everybody bar Curry, who's in the centre circle, or just some forwards of it. O'Nien heads it behind.
The corner ball.
Another corner. The fourth Oxford corner.
And you just think that this is their way back in. If they want to get back into the game, you just think it's going to be a set piece.
Vaux is going to take the floodlights to suddenly come on. Flick a switch, on they come. And Taulby's pointing to Mundle. They played it short to Donnelly and then back to Vaux. He sweeps in the cross straight into the hands of Robin Roofs. And Taulby wants it played out to him quickly. He's sprinted all the way up to the halfway line. The ball has gone right. It's gone out on that far side to Lefay, but Taulby, the run was in vain. Inside to Herr Trauder, across to Luke O'Nien, up to the halfway line and wide then to Mundle. Mundle taps it on, looking for Diarra, who's pushed it past Makosso, and Makosso, sensible, it looked like it gone over the goal line, but the flag stays down. The referee doesn't give anything. It's come back into the centre circle to Mukiele, and then O'Nien plays it down the left wing, but out for a throw to Oxford. Stoke 1, Fulham 1. So nearly 10 minutes of the second half played, and Sunderland still lead through that Diarra penalty in the 32nd minute. Sirkin heads one on from the halfway line wide, looking for Isidore. Makosso hooks it back up onto O'Nien's chest on halfway. A chase for Ginu, edge of the area. Roofs gets the ball away straight to Mills, and Mills is running at Sirkin, plays the ball inside to Vaux, and Vaux now in front of Lede turns and plays it to Spencer wide, then to Mills, back inside to Vaux. Mills again, tackled by Sirkin, throw to Oxford on the right. 4 Sunderland substitutes warming up. Mayenda, Tarby, Rigg and Siddiqui. Mills down the right, gets past Sirkin, into the path of Spencer, almost in the corner. Closes down Sirkin, the ball behind for another Oxford corner, their 5th corner. Donnelly, I think, again, will take this from the right, Jamie Donnelly. Again, Vaux now just sitting outside the penalty area. Curry at the front of the centre circle. Brannigan at the edge of the penalty area as well. Plenty of yellow shirts in the box. Left-footed, swung in, and Roofs catches it again. He's been commanding in that respect. He's made himself dominant. Positive take. Again, Talby made that sprint up to the halfway line. This time, Roofs has found him. Great pass.
What a pass that is, by the way.
Oxford half, and Talby's still going into the penalty area, and he tried to get through to Isidore, but just stumbled slightly at the last, and Oxford managed to get the ball off his feet. But it was a superb pass from Robin Roofs. Another cutout forwards from Oxford by Mukiele. Finds Talby again. Through the middle, edge of the area. Now rolls it to Mundle. Right-footed, punched away by the goalkeeper. He tried to place it, Mundle, but Ingram able to punch the ball away. A good attempt. Maybe should have smacked it with as much power as he could. 1-0 still to Sunderland. Out to Mills, Oxford on the right-hand side. Sirkin going with him. Mills taking it to the goal line, dragging it back into the penalty area, but straight to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien brings this out. This is getting a bit more open now, this game. A little bit more intensity than we saw in the first half. Lefay out to the left touchline. Back to Sirkin, back to Roofs. Closed down by Mills. Great spludge of mud all down his back now, Stan Mills, and out to Mukiele. Lifts one over the top for the run here of Talby and Diarra, and it's left for Talby, cutting in again at the back of the penalty area, across to Mundle. He's brought it up on his right, tries to go around Spencer, no foul as Mundle goes down, and Vaux just whips the ball all the way up to Robin Roofs at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area.
It's getting stretched the game, innit?
It is a bit, yeah. But I don't think that's for the worst.
No, it suits Sunderland.
Here's Hertrauder on the halfway line, right of the centre circle. Isidore back to Hertrauder, back again to Mukiele in the centre circle. Plays it to O'Nien into the Oxford half. Sirkin leaves it for Lefay, just in front of the centre circle, through the middle. Talby, he's going to shoot. Tipped over, was it? It's a corner. Good shot from Talby, tipped over for Sunderland's first corner.
Good play again. Good pass by Lefay again, finding him.
So, from the right.
First corner.
Yeah. Hume's going to take it. On that right-hand side in front of the Sunderland fans. Lefay's jogging across to the corner for a word with Trey Hume, and then walks back away from Hume, breaks into a jog. Hume from the right. Geertruida and is it Lancashire? The right battle going on between them in the penalty area. Referee's keeping an eye on it. Hume then from the right swings it out, swinger headed out by Brown, comes back to him, he heads it out again to Diarra on the corner on the left of the penalty area. He swings the ball in, but Mukaso heads it out. Hume, low ball in, and it's spilled round the post by the goalkeeper.
I thought that was going to be his first goal of the season.
I did as well, thought it was going to sneak in.
Good effort.
So, another corner for Sunderland. 2 in fairly quick succession. Hume's gone across to take it again. The foot of that stand where the Sunderland fans are. Michele's up there, Mundle at the edge of the area, in comes the ball again, hangs in the air, Geertruida stabs it back to Mundle, down the left of the penalty area. Brannigan's gone with him, Mundle's gone round him in a free kick though, because Mundle was caught, and Brannigan's shown a yellow card for that foul on Mundle. 62nd minute. The second goal would calm a few nerves.
Mayenda's coming on.
So's Siddiqui. So a double switch at the very least about to be made by Sunderland. Enzo Lefebvre is going to take the free kick. So they're all singing Mayenda's name on the far side. Lefebvre.
Good ball in.
2 in the wall for Oxford, Mills and Ginu. And Lefebvre raises his right arm now with his right curve. Oh, he comes off the back of Ginu's back at the side of his face actually. He's flat on his back, the South Korean. Felt that. And he wasn't hit with extreme power, but it was enough to, it'll be stinging, there's no question. He's going to get some treatment.
Knocked him off his feet.
He did. Flat on his back. I'm not sure the ball went out for a throw or corner actually. Slurp of coffee.
Was
63rd minute now. Talby's come across to the touchline, but I think is that for a drink?
Will Mayenda come on for Wilson Isidore, do you think?
I think so. I think it makes the most sense, doesn't it? Isidore's not really got in the game, has he? So the substitution's about to be made. Diarra's coming off as Siddiqui. Well, that's, yeah, makes sense. And
also coming off is Eliza Dawson.
Isidore, yeah, Isidore is the player coming off, which we predicted. So those 2 substitutions being made, just 64th minute. I thought he might be inclined to change the wingers, but actually Talby's got more involved in the game in this second half. And then Oxford are going to make 3 changes by the looks of things. So Ginu's waiting to come back on. He has been treated for the head, the ball against the face. Oxford now making their substitution. Brannigan's coming off.
Yeah, just got booked.
McDonnell is his replacement. Another Northern Ireland. Grimsby 1, Wolves 1 is full time.
Grimsby 0.
No, sorry, Wolves 1. Sorry, I'm trying to sort out these substitutions. So Imaku's come on as well. Trying to see who's gone off for Imaku. Who's come on? Romney's coming on as well. So the 3 changes. Donnelly's gone off.
And
Ginnou's gone off. So that little rash of substitutions made. We get underway again in the 65th minute. So McDonnell and Naku and Romney on now for Oxford as Mayenda forces a save from Ingram from the left of the 6-yard box, and another corner for Sunderland.
That's his first touch on it. Well, second touch, one to control, one to shoot.
Yep.
Excellent. Was it the target? He's worked the goalkeeper.
Romney, incidentally, Ollie Romney is an Indonesian international. And down to take the corner is Hume. Mayenda up on the 6-yard line, Lefay in the 6-yard box. Lefay at the left corner of the penalty area. Bit of movement, Hume swings the ball in. It drops here for a header straight at the goalkeeper by Mukiele, and he's turned it round the post for another corner.
Is that 5 corners we've had now?
That's the 4th. It's a little rash of corners in this second half, and Hume's gone across to take this.
Could do with that second goal, couldn't we?
I just think, it would just give them a bit of a comfort zone, wouldn't it? With 20, well, we're almost halfway through the second half. Mukiele, a bit of movement from him. Hume from the right hand side, then lots of movement from the Sunderland players in towards Mukiele, gets his head on it, but it's going to go wide, well wide from Nordi Mukiele. It's still Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. Much more open second half than the first. Ingram, the keeper, taps the ball to Brown, who plays it across here to Makosso. Christ Makosso, 4 caps for the Democratic Republic of Congo. His teammate Noah Sadiki's now on the pitch in opposition. Out on the left, played in by Curry, driven forwards by Vaux, looking for Spencer's run. It breaks though for Sunderland, and they find Sadiki out to Mundle. And then it rolled over his foot on halfway. It's a throw to Oxford on the right hand side. Brodie Spencer comes out to take the throw in front of Regis Debris. Referee stop play from Owen. Lancashire's on the floor. He's been hauled up by O'Nien, and he's coming back.
He's going to get booked.
Card for Luca.
Was that 4 or 5 yellow cards?
Yellow cards for Sunderland, 2 for.
Just got to be careful, haven't we, Nick?
Oxford.
You know.
Kieran Brown at the back for Oxford. Curry to his left. Talby's in front of him. Curry plays it back into the penalty area to the goalkeeper. Sprinting in is Talby, but it comes out on the right now to Makosso. Forwards down the touchline to Spencer, who that's it, come off Mundle.
That's it.
Spencer, throw for Sunderland, which Mundle is going to leave for Dennis Sirkin to take. Just over 20 minutes left. Slender lead, 1-0, but Sunderland created more chances in this second half. Sadiki back to Sirkin, back to Luke O'Nien, across to Mukiele in the centre circle. Looking for the run of Mundle on the left here. Spencer got his foot up, but straight down here to Sadiki. And Sadiki, he's got Mills in front of him, and he gets it on his right. He gets the ball into the penalty area, but Makosso plays it out. Nodded on by Romney, and he's poked it on again, but O'Nien gets in front of him and plays it inside into the centre circle to Mukiele. Looking for Mundle, chesting it on down the left of the penalty area to Sirkin. Makosso gets in front of him, Mundle wins it back again, and then in goes Mills to try and win it off Mundle, who's eventually fouled by Makosso. It's a free kick on the touchline on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Trey Hume. Is he coming to take it? No,
it's going to be Lefay. O'Nien saunters up through the middle. Hume's just outside the penalty area as well. Lefay, it's a yard in from touch, just taps it to Hume. Hume shoots straight to the goalkeeper.
Is that 2 shots?
He's not having any luck, is he?
At least he's hit the target.
Yep. But straightforward save for Matt Ingram, and a big kick from him upfield, looking for Mills, headed away by Lefay, who got back, but then Mills gets the ball back again. It comes out for a throw to Oxford on the right. Vaux.
Be a long throw.
Is going to take the long throw again. Steps back, not quite onto the. Yes, he has stepped onto the sheets, lying on the track, off the pitch. Will Vaux then. 7 caps for Wales, the 32-year-old, and in comes the long throw, headed down and comes down then for a shot just at the edge of the penalty area from McDonnell, but it floats over the bar. Jamie McDonnell, who earlier in the season was on loan at Mansfield from Nottingham Forest, for whom he got 2 goals, yet to open his account for Oxford. The 21-year-old signed in the January window from Forest. All the players up into the Oxford half just about for Robin Ruff's goal kick. Drops for Mienda, comes back to Mills, but then played on by Mukaele, headed away by Brown. Vaux nodded on by Enzo Lefay. Brown gets a foot to it again, up into the Sunderland half. Sirkin gets it through, looking for Siddiqui, but it comes back to Kieran Brown. Rolls it through then on the left of midfield to the substitute Imaku, but eventually out for a throw to Oxford on the left. Adamo Imaku, signed from Millwall in January, 22 years old. Long throw down the line on the left, 2 halfway from Oxford, comes back to Curry, then Mukaele swings a foot through it casually, and it plays to Talby to play back into the middle to Sirkin to knock back to Robin Ruff. 73rd minute, Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. Robin Ruff picks the ball up in front of Lancashire and then rolls it out to Luke O'Nien on this left-hand side, up to the halfway line, out to Sirkin on the left, inside again to Siddiqui, looking for the run of Sirkin, down the left here into the penalty area to Mundle. Mundle on his right, blocked though by Makosso, comes out to Siddiqui. Siddiqui turns, he's just outside the penalty area, plays it back behind him to Hertrauder. Across then to Hume on the right of central midfield, and forwards again to Talby on the right, inside again to Hume. Hume, he's got options. Lefay wide on the touchline, brings it down. Hume's in front of him. Lefay cutting inside, looks for Talby. Talby being forced back out by Curry, plays it back to Mukaele.
It's off the pitch.
Mukaele is at the minute standing on the touchline at the moment. Hume inside from Talby, he's cutting in, leaves it for Lefay, right side of midfield, and Lefay turns and plays it behind him to Luke O'Nien, forwards through the middle to Hertrauder. Well, they try to barge him off the ball, but he gets it out to Mundle on the left-hand side, a couple of step overs into the penalty area, but too much of it shown to Vaux, who gets the ball out, comes back to Mills, and he plays it up looking for Lancashire. There's some shirt tugging going on by O'Nien. The flag is up. Offside.
Pulling his shirt.
And instead it's in favour of Luke O'Nien. To be honest, they were both at it. Luke O'Nien's lucky, he's on a yellow card, it could have gone either way. O'Nien applauds the assistant, and that has clearly angered or frustrated the Oxford fans. Now there's a yellow card for Matt Bloomfield here as well. The referee comes across and issues that. So that is 7th yellow card in the game 75th minute, Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. O'Nien passing the ball back to McKaylee up towards the halfway line, and comes back to Roofs. Wasn't fully cleared. Out to Hertrauder in the middle. On he goes through the centre. He goes down, but no foul, says the referee. Romani's coming away with the ball, and then it's won back by Lefay. Intercepts it on halfway, out down the right touchline. Looking for the run here, Siddiqui, edge of the area, into the penalty box. He's trying to dribble through past Mokoso. In the end, it comes off Curry. Curry gets it back. Siddiqui trying to win it back, and it's cleared straight to Lefay. Talby on the right. Little ball back to Siddiqui on the touchline. Then it's played off an Oxford player, and McDonald gets the ball up to halfway, straight to Trey Hume, who nods it to Mukaili, and Mukaili back to Robin Ruffs at the edge of the penalty area, out to O'Nien, plays it right to Mukaili, who's in a bit of space, and Mukaili looks up, looks to play it to Talby down the touchline, lifting it over for Hume to chase onto, but Brown, his Northern Ireland teammate, gets the ball away at the second attempt. Talby puts it back down the right, looking for Hume again. Brown beats him to it and hooks the ball into the Sunderland fans on the far side. Afternoon getting a bit darker, as though there may be a bit more rain on the way. O'Nien is going to take the throw. Is it going to be a long throw? Looks as though it may be. He's drying the ball off. Talby left it for him. 1-0 Sunderland lead. They have done since the 32nd minute. Diarra's penalty. In comes O'Nien's throw into the penalty area. Headed back down towards Mienda, but Mokoso is there. Gets the ball out, but Mundle picks it up. Finds Mukaili in the penalty area on the left. He's still got it. He turns it into the penalty spot, where it's headed out by Romani. It'll come up to the halfway line, and Trey Hume, who puts it back down the right, headed away by Curry from Talby to Maku, and then back again to the goalkeeper eventually from midfield. Ingram kicks the ball down the right wing. It bounces on the touchline and out. It's a throw to Sunderland. No, is that going? Talby's warming up. Talby. We'll have Talby on the right, Talby on the left, unless Talby comes off.
Talby for Talby.
Although he's down on the team sheet as Jocelyn, so I think that's probably a bid to avoid confusion. Throw for Sunderland, which Sirkin is taking just in front of Matt Bloomfield. Down to Hertrauder, up to a Mienda. Mundle getting away from the centre half, Mokoso, but he played it with some power at Ingram, who just dipped down to his right to make the save. But it was a vicious strike from Mundle. The ball out quickly up into the centre circle for Oxford. Imaku back to Vaux. He lays it off to Brown on the left, on the halfway line. We're in the 78th minute, Sunderland leading 1-0. Curry plays the ball into the Sunderland penalty area. Hume plays it out again on the right, and Enzo Lefay looking for the run of Mienda down the right wing. Mokoso's gone with him. Mienda's dribbling at him, dribbling across the edge of the penalty area, now the back edge, the 18-yard line. Finds Mundle in the box. Mundle trying to get it on his right, and he's tackled at the last.
You've got to pull the trigger.
Penalty spot. He should have shot sooner. He's frustrated, but the ball's going to come back at Oxford through Sirkin and Lefay and Siddiqui. Mundle picks himself up in the penalty area, and the ball with Mukaili, now Hertrauder to Siddiqui, and Siddiqui inside again to Hertrauder, and the substitution I think is about to be made by Sunderland. O'Nien across to Mukaili over the halfway line, and then out wide to Talby. Inside to Hume, looking for the run of Talby down that right wing. Talby gets there, checks, and the ball comes off Curry for a corner. Sunderland do get their 5th corner of the game. Hume's
Is Mundle going to come off?
Going down to take it. Mundle's struggling.
To be fair, he's put a shift in, hasn't he?
I thought he's done all right today.
He's done well.
He's done okay. Hume then with the corner from the right hand side. Both arms raised momentarily. Talby's in the 6-yard box. Plenty of red and white shirts in the penalty area. Referee's encouraging Hume to get on with things. In comes the... it's gone out. Went over the goal lines. It's swung in.
Yeah.
Bit of waste. Still Oxford 0, Sunderland 1. And 10 minutes to play. And coming on,
Tarby.
It's Tarby.
For?
Which winger? We'll find out.
Mundle.
It's for Talby.
Talby for Talby.
So Talby comes off for Tarby to come on in the 81st minute. See what
they're making two more substitutions, Oxford.
Yeah, they are. So looks like Plachetta, the Pole, is one of them. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce his Christian name. Although
is that his middle name?
I can probably tell you his middle name, actually. The player coming off, I think, is Curry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Left back.
Jack Curry, yeah.
Mills is coming. Mills is coming off. And who was the other one on? Ruskin, the Dutch left wing back. Plachetta, no, they haven't got a middle name, Plachetta. So I'm not going near that one.
It's gone grey again, eh?
Looks rain sweeping in again now. 82nd minute. Rain is sweeping in. And a throw for Oxford on the right hand side. And the ball with Brown at the back. I say at the back, he's only just inside the Oxford half. The ball played down the left wing. They're looking for Ruskin, who hasn't come on.
Oh, you said it's gone out.
And the ball's gone out, according to the assistant on the far side, for a throw to Oxford, who trail 1-0. We're in the 83rd minute. The ball comes back to Brown. Brown across the pitch to Mukoso. And Mukoso wide here to the substitute Plachetta.
No, Ongulu.
And well, there's still opportunities to make another substitution for Sunderland. 2 opportunities, in fact. Do you think they will now? I don't think so. Do you? Hertrauder out to Tarby on the right hand side. He's taken on Rusin, the left back, down the touchline, and he slipped inside and he tried to go round him again, but Rusin got a touch, and it's played out now by Imaku up towards halfway, given away to Siddiqui. A lovely little turn to try and work some space, get to Mayenda.
Oh, you could have played him in.
Nearly got in to Tarby, but Oxford get the ball out only as far as Lefay. Hertrauder plays it to Lefay again, and then it's played across to Hume on the right hand side and down the touchline to Tarby, back to Hume, and back again to Mukeli on the halfway line on the right of the centre circle. Wide again to Tarby. Stoke 1, Fulham 2 in the cup this afternoon, and Tarby goes on and he's going to let the ball. It just rolls over. He's giving it a goal kick. Tarby's not very happy. He thought that should have been a corner, which is why he left it. Ingram, the goalkeeper, gets the ball, places it at the left of his 6-yard box. Just over 6 minutes left. Sunderland lead 1-0. Not over yet. Ingram with the kick, headed back by Mukeli. Hume's behind him and gets the ball before it rolls over the goal line and turns and plays it back over the halfway line, looking for Mayenda. It's driven back in the middle by Vaux to Mukoso, and then to Spencer and back to the goalkeeper. Mundle goes to close Ingram's kick down, but he's got it up into the Sunderland half. Lancashire brings it down, but then gives it straight to Mukaele. And back it goes into the Oxford half on the Oxford left. Brown hooks it back up onto Mukaele's chest. Lefay back to Mukaele, and he's tripped, is he? No, the referee says no, he's rolled over the player's leg. And Vauxhall in the centre circle leaves it for McDonnell. McDonnell turns away from Mienda, wide left. It looked to me like that had rolled out, but that's on the far side, and the assistant's flag stays down. Brown to Vauxhall just behind the centre circle. 86th minute, Mukoso back to Vauxhall, and then across on the left hand side again to Rusin, but intercepted by Tarby, but he knocks the ball out for a throw to Oxford on the far side. Quickly taken throw. Brown, Vauxhall into the centre, drives the ball down the right, looking for Plachetta.
He won't catch that,
but he won't reach that. Span away off the pitch, behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. Much more dominant in the second half, Sunderland, but much more open game. Roofs places the ball on the 6-yard line. Everybody heading up towards the halfway line or into the Oxford half. Roofs with the kick. Up it goes over halfway. Headed up by Mukoso, looking to try and get it to Amaku. It's come from him behind into the path of Mienda, who got caught by Brown but no foul. Mienda's on his back, on his side now. Vauxhall back to the goalkeeper. Referee just walking away from it. Mienda lying on his back and sitting up now as Herr Trauder heads the ball down for Mundle, and Sirkin keeps it in. No, he doesn't. It spins out for a throw to Oxford. Mienda's up on his feet now, and there's an Oxford player who's gone down. Lancashire, and another ball bounces onto the pitch, and Brown's just checking to see if Mienda's okay, as is the referee. He is. He's now got to worry about whether Lancashire's all right. Lancashire, the medical staff wanting to come on and treat him. Mundle standing over him. Referee's back with him now, and Lancashire is up, limps away a little bit, but seems to be okay. Vauxhall is going to take a long throw then for Oxford. The 88th minute, Sunderland leading 1-0. 1 foot in the 5th round. Long throw. So Vauxhall
going to deal with this
long throw. Short, actually, in the end, to Plachetta, back to the pole from Vauxhall, chasing to the goal line, gets the ball into the box, headed away by Sirkin, missed by Mundle, out for a throw to Oxford. Vauxhall switches balls. He lets the one from the game drop off the pitch, and he drives off another off the cone for a long throw for Oxford United. So we're about to go into the 89th minute. Headed away by Siddiqui, comes down to Vauxhall again, and he's trying to swing a ball back into the penalty area, but Sirkin heads it out. Plachetta puts it back in the box, and then Herr Trauder leaves it for O'Nien to clear. Mienda gets it to Mundle, and some lovely play by Mundle, gets it inside.
The other side.
He's got Tarby on the run. He's passed it through for Tarby into the penalty area, but suddenly he's closed down by Imaku and been forced out on the right hand side, and has to come back and lay it off behind him to Trey Hume. But what a pass from Lefay. And Tarby again, behind him is Hume, and Hume will play it back to Robin Roofs. 89th minute, Oxford 0, Sunderland 1. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Sounds. O'Nien brings it up over the halfway line, plays it to Siddiqui on the left. He's got Sirkin behind him, who had a word in his ear as he passed him, and the ball slipped into Mundle in the penalty area. Slips again, and Mukoso will get the ball out, but fouled by Sirkin, and a free kick. Mundle's back on his back again, gets himself up quickly this time, and the goalkeeper takes the free kick. We're into the last minute. We're in the 90th minute. Plachetta on this right hand side, leaves it for Vaux, looking for the run of Spencer. Across comes O'Nien. Spencer, it's O'Nien stretching to put the ball out. It's a good interception that by O'Nien.
Long throw into the box here.
Long throws coming from Vaux. So Will Vaux with the long throw for Oxford in the 90th minute, trailing 1-0 the home team, and Vaux here, in comes his throw, and it's headed goalwards towards Brown, but caught by Robin Roofs. Makosso couldn't get a foot on the end of it.
How's he got on his clock? 5 minutes?
So how much have we got to play here? We played 90 minutes bar a couple of seconds, and we're going to get an extra 5 minutes. 5 minutes minimum now. And Roofs to take a free kick at the edge of his penalty area. Left of the D on the 18-yard line. Matt Bloomfield's querying the fourth official about something. The players in the small area of the pitch around the centre circle. Roof's kick floats up into the edge of the D, headed away by Makosso. A battle between Vaux and Siddiqui. The Welshman's won it with a free kick. Siddiqui flicks it back away. Vaux hurriedly gets the ball out to Rusin, out on the left wing. Tarby tries to intercept. Rusin comes away with the ball. Lafay trying to win it now. Rusin still has it but stumbles. Tarby comes away with it into the Oxford half. Is fouled. Free kick to Sunderland. Just inside the Oxford half, right at the centre circle. Tarby picks himself up. Hume is going to take the free kick by the looks of things. We're in the 92nd minute now. We've played a minute and 15 seconds with a minimum 5 being added on. And Hume to Tarby. Back it comes to Mukaili. Mukaili just inside his own half, plays it back out to Tarby on the touchline. Inside to Hume. Hume to Tarby. Tarby down that right touchline, cutting inside here now. Still going, Tarby, still going. On his left, just past the foot of the post.
Sorry, what? He looks busy, doesn't he?
Busy, yeah, lively. So just past the foot of the right post from Jocelyn Tarby. Still 1-0 to Sunderland. Replay on the screen behind the goal. It's not far wide. Mukaili heads the ball back into the centre circle. Vaux heading it back on again in the air. Imaku trying to head it on. A big clearance from O'Nien, comes all the way back up to Matt Ingram inside the Oxford penalty area. Rolls the ball out to Will Vaux on the right here, swings the ball up towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Lancashire gets his head on it, but back to Robin Roofs. He's not had a great deal of joy, Lancashire, with Mukaili this afternoon.
I think the two centre backs have done really well, Mukaili and O'Nien.
Yeah. Roofs clears again downfield, 93rd minute. Mundell heads it back behind to look for Mienda at the corner of the Oxford penalty area, but they get the ball away. Plachetta, Trowder intercepts. Sirkin tries to head it on again. Mundell brings it down, but he's fouled Plachetta. And a free
he's going to get booked.
Oxford.
He's going to get booked. Siddiqui.
Is it Siddiqui or Mundell?
Siddiqui.
Siddiqui.
So kicking the ball away.
So that's 5 Sunderland players booked this afternoon. We're in the 94th minute though. 5 minutes have been added on. Vaux is going to take the free kick and swings it towards the edge of the penalty area, headed on by Brown. In the air, Lancashire trying to get on the end of it, and now in the air from Siddiqui. Plachetta puts it back in the mix as Brown takes a shot and he's gone wide of the post. He's looking for a corner, but the referee's pointed to the goal kick. Just over a minute left, a minute and 15 seconds of the minimum 5. Sunderland leading through that Diarra penalty.
9,879. Thank you for your support this afternoon.
There you go, 9,879. 2,000 plus of those from Sunderland. Roofs with the goal kick in the last minute of the minimum 5 in the rain falling here now again. And the ball spins up towards Mundle. He got a touch, then so did Spencer to knock it out for a throw to Sunderland down the left wing. Stoke 1, Fulham 2 is full time. Leeds through earlier on penalties, Wolves through as well. Sunderland on the verge of going through here. Sirkin with a throw down the left hand side, halfway inside the Oxford half, headed away by Mukoso, looking for the substitute Romani, but it's come down for Luke O'Nien to have to deal with this, and he wins a free kick for a foul by Lancashire.
Well done, Luke O'Nien, I tell you. He's had a right battle on his hands, hasn't he?
Yep.
Really.
Well, looks like Sunderland have come through it. We're into the 96th minute now, as the sun comes out and the rain falls on this Sunday afternoon at Cassan Stadium. Robin Ruffs places the ball for the free kick, and this should, I suspect, be the last kick of the game. The referee's whistle in his mouth, and that is indeed Sunderland through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Diarra's penalty in the first half in a game, well, game of two halves. It was a first half when played without intensity, really, neither side really stepping up to take the game to the other. Much more open in the second half, and that's when the chances came, although they're right, the irony was the goal had come in the first half from a penalty, which has led to some dispute. I think Oxford feel the ball wasn't in the penalty area, and B, wasn't the foul, but nonetheless, penalty given. Enzo Lefebvre we thought was going to take it, but ended up handing the ball to Habib Diarra. Hearts in mouths moment, because Diarra took a couple of slow steps and he thought, no, please, but then he did succinctly put it in the bottom right hand corner. A good penalty in the end from Habib Diarra, the only goal of the game.
Yeah, and again, you've got to say that they managed the game well. It's always going to be a tricky game, especially away from home against Oxford. They've got nothing to lose, but as the game went on, you've seen the quality of Sunderland come through, and it's great to, a lot of them players got minutes, which was excellent. I thought Mundle did well on this left-hand side. Sirkin didn't put a foot wrong. O'Nien in the heart of defence did well. And Talby who come on, and Talby who was on, both of them did well in there. So, Trudeau played well in the middle of the park. So it's great to see them players get some minutes. I thought Lefebvre was excellent in the middle. He pulled all the strings, and you look at it, and you can say now it was a comfortable win.
I think Reggie's got it right, didn't he? I mean, there was, you can say when you make 6 changes, too many changes, but as you say, how much did Robin Russ have to do in terms of saving any shots or chances? Not very much at all. One good chance for Mukoso, a header at the end of the first half, which he will feel he should have scored. That might have made a different story in the second half, but he put the header wide. I've nothing written down in the second half in terms of Ruffs having to make any saves, but Mundle, Talby, Hume, Mienda, Mukele, they've all had chances. Could have been more than one, but effectively changed team, job done. Regis Lebris will be pleased to be in the 5th round.
Yeah, you've got to say it's a professional job. What they've got, especially away from home, coming here, people look on it could be a banana skin, but you've got to say they've managed it very well. And you've got to give him credit, Regis Lebris, they've got it right. They've got that formation right. Hume playing in his regular position as a right back. O'Nien coming in the heart of defence did well, and in the middle of the park, Lefebvre I thought was excellent, pulling all the strings. And again, another few minutes under the belts for the likes of Diarra. Siddiqui was rested a little bit, he come on, but again Mundle on the left hand side, I thought he did well, worked hard, and it was great to see Talby come on as well. He looks exciting.
Scene's a little bit different from the last time we were here last year. The players being applauded by the Sunderland fans on the far side. O'Nien trying to whip them up as well. He's been called for an interview with TV. Pitch side here, down below us, as the rest of his teammates head down the tunnel of the Kassam Stadium. And Sunderland, in the sunshine, bizarrely, this afternoon now can celebrate an FA Cup win. We referenced 1992 when they beat Oxford on their way to the FA Cup final, where they're through to the 5th round this season. That draw will be made on Monday night, ahead of the Monday night game. It's ended in front of 9,879 at the Kassam Stadium. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. Mundell stretches to get it to Lefay on the touchline. He's played it into Sirkin in the penalty area. Makosso on his shoulder. He's brought penalty. He's brought Sirkin down on the edge of the penalty area, and Tom Kirk is pointed to the penalty spot. Diarra is going to take this penalty kick.
Why didn't Lefay take it?
He gave the ball, Lefay, to Habib Diarra, who steps up and rolls it into the bottom right-hand corner very calmly, very cool.
Yeah, good penalty.
And Sunderland take the lead.
Total Sport North East.
On the station with Newcastle and Sunderland commentary exclusively live.
BBC Radio Newcastle. On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio Newcastle.
and on your radio.
The sound of the North East is BBC Radio Newcastle.
BBC News at 4 o'clock. This is Harvey Cook. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale have won Team GB's first ever Winter Olympic title on snow. They took gold in the snowboard cross mixed team event. After heartbreak in their individual efforts, the British pair combined to produce an astonishing performance to add Olympic gold to the World Championship title they won in 2023. Jenny Jones is an Olympic bronze medalist snowboarder and was watching in Italy.
Both of them, Hugh and Charlotte, they're so passionate about snowboarding. They absolutely love it. They dedicate everything to their sport and racing, and snowboard cross is a fantastic sport, but it is also such a lottery, and there's so many ups and downs in the world of racing. Both of them as a team, that really was such a solid team effort.
The former leader of the Liberal Democrats, Vince Cable, has described the actions of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor while he was a trade envoy as being totally unacceptable. Mr Cable told the BBC that a government investigation is now needed alongside a check on whether criminal corruption took place. Mr Mountbatten-Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing. The Civil Defence Agency in Gaza says at least 12 people have been killed in overnight Israeli airstrikes. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, at least 600 people have been killed since a ceasefire agreement took effect last October. Iran's deputy foreign minister has told the BBC that Tehran is ready to consider compromises to reach a nuclear deal with the US if Washington is willing to discuss lifting sanctions. Majid Tadjiravanchi said the ball is now in America's court to prove it's serious about negotiating a new deal. The Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar has said Sir Keir Starmer would be welcome to campaign in Scotland in May's Holyrood election, even though he called for him to step down last week. On Radio Scotland this morning, Mr Sarwar was asked if he would campaign alongside the Prime Minister.
Look, I'm going to lead the campaign. I'm going to lead the campaign from the front.
With Keir Starmer by your side? You'll look like a hypocrite if he's standing next to you, wouldn't you?
Look, there's only one person standing to be First Minister against John Swinney, that's me. I'm
Keir Starmer's not welcome then?
Well, look, if he wants to come and chap doors, he's a Labour Party member, of course he'd be welcome to come and chap doors and encourage people to vote for me to be First Minister. But what I do want the ministers to be doing is delivering for Scotland.
The Trades Union Congress says it'll take another 30 years for women's pay to catch up with men's at the current rates. Though it has shrunk slightly every year in England and Wales since the pandemic, the gender pay gap for all workers stands at 12.8%, meaning the average working woman earns the equivalent of £2,500 less than men in a year. Claire Lonergan, the director of the Women's Rights Network, says employers are not taking the law seriously.
Part of the problem is that we just don't have sufficient data on this. Every year companies need to report their gender pay gap, but once it's reported, that's it. There's no requirement to do anything much about it. And there's not been very much research at all into